Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know who we are. We are the Moderate Texan Podcast. You know me. I am Jay, aka the Moderate Texan. That is my co-host, the EXO Intro. We are a little late this week. Things came up. Life is life, and made us have to push out a little bit, but it is all good. We're here. We're ready to talk about week 3 with y'all. We're here to break down the film and just look through that darkness, find a little bit of light, and bring everybody right back to the middle. But before we do any of that, quick shameless plug here. We've got everybody's social media down below. You can see mine as well as EXO's down below. Our X accounts are there. We're findable there. We're findable on Instagram. At least I have an Instagram, but don't really use it. So mainly just find me on X. You can find me on Discord. You can email us. Our email is listed down below as well as the podcast information is out there. That's out there on Spotify. I think it's on YouTube Podcasts now, Apple Podcasts, so on and so forth. And that usually goes out the day after the show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the information that we're showing you guys. And feel free to comment. Feel free to put comments out there. Feel free to chat with us now. Feel free to email us and let us know what you want us to pray for. As we jump into the film today, EXO, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. All we gotta do is take it day by day, keep it moving forward. But it's been an all right week, man. Hopefully, hopefully your week is ending better than what it was during the week. So hopefully everything's good with you, man.
Yeah, same. Yeah, life came at me pretty fast yesterday. A couple of things I forgot were even on the calendar. We're on the calendar. But like you said, life comes at us fast. We just gotta roll with the punches. That's what we do as adults. As you know, before every show, we start with a quick side note after we do little shameless introductions, a little bit of housekeeping. So we're going to jump in on that real quick. Quick side note. I was going to talk about some junk that had kind of been going on in the talk of perception versus reality, but I think I'll save some of that for the end. Really what I wanted to kind of bring to people is the RELAX business that Aaron Rodgers likes to say. Relax, chill. We're 3 games into the season. I know last game sucked, and let's get out in front of it before we jump into the film and look at some of the stuff that we saw. But I was at the last game. It sucked to watch my team lose. It sucked to watch my team get blown out and it essentially looked like they were showing no heart. But relax. This is the first 3 games of the season in which we watched a team that didn't really play a lot during the preseason. They're still gelling. They're still getting together and learning how to play as one team. This is the first time we've seen this offensive line together. We hadn't seen this all year last year. It's the first time they're playing together. It's the first time we're running with this running back, with Joe Mixon. It's the first time we're running with all 3 of these wide receivers. So as the quick side note before we jump into the film, and we'll get into this a little bit further here. Relax. Take your time. Just enjoy the season as it comes. For those of y'all who are other fans, be prepared because we coming. We coming. Got anything else to say on that, EXO, before we jump into the film study?
No, I kind of said it. Pretty much the gist of it. 3 games into the season. Team is still figuring themselves out. They're still trying to figure out or, iron out and define their identities on either side of the ball. And so as they take the lumps and as they trying to figure out, there's going to be situations like this and games like this where you got to look yourself in the mirror after the game and be like, okay, well, where do we move from this point? Where do we go from this point? And I hope that was the case this game where both sides of the ball, everybody was able to look themselves in the mirror and be like, all right, what are we going to be this year? What are we going to do moving forward?
Indeed. All right. It's about that time. It's time to start the film review. We're going back to our old style, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know how it was before. had this beautiful looking player that was out there. Now, I will say we have 10 plays as per the usual that we're going to look into. A lot of these plays are going to kind of flip the script on what we saw before. A lot of people have been posting the bad. Why did this happen? They've been posting, why was this going down? We have some of that in here too, but a lot of it, Bobby Sloak has taken a lot of heat. Let's just be real. Bobby Sloak has taken a lot of heat this week. Some of that deservedly so.
As he should, as the coordinator, as the guy.
He's the coordinator. That's what he should. He should be taking some of that heat. But I don't think we realize what he was dialing up. So let's go ahead and take a look. XO, I'll let you talk about what you saw on this play to start.
Okay, this is the 3-by-1 look. I think this was like 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8 or some situation like that where we got to get the first down. We already behind the 8 ball in points, and so we're just trying to simulate a drive and get some points on the board. As we sit here, we see this dog front where Brian Flores special, let me get a number 1, no cheese, with a large drink, you feel me? And so Brian Flores got them a large drink right there. They dogged the line. We got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. A possible 8, because I think there's an overhang on the right side by 12, but he's probably manned up with Nico. But so you got 7 people on the line, and you only got maybe 6 to 5 blockers. Smart play by the running back or smart play by the tight end for staying in, giving him a mass protection look. Because I know usually there is a leak route between either the running back or the tight end, but I'm glad that they saw it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They rushed 8. Jesus Christ. So they rushed 8, trying to throw off the timing, trying to throw off the feet of CJ, make him feel antsy. I think 24 or 44 dropped out last second, so it was a simulated pressure to drop into coverage. So it's a nasty play call. So I like to after the end of the game, I try to give my credit to Brian Flores for not even a master class, but doing a damn good job and showing why he's one of the better defensive coordinators and one of the top head coaching candidates coming into this next season. But on the offensive side, let's talk about our guys. We got a 3-by-1 look where it's a wide spacing with the X and the X and the Y, and so it's kind of interesting because or X and the Z, and so it's kind of interesting because with the spacing, you can kind of feel a clear out route or an underneath route coming. Um, Situation awareness will make you know, like, all right, one of these routes is going to be at the sticks, and so like at some point in time, one of these guys is probably going to run a slant, a drag, something underneath 2 other receivers. And so as teams get used to playing guys, they're gonna start seeing more or so of that concept. And like a savvy defender would understand, like, all right, one of these guys is slanting, one of these guys is going to have a flat, something's happening, or someone's going to be at the stick. So that's why they all lined up at the sticks. It's a 3rd down play. They got everybody on the line that's not immediately on the receiver, so you can already probably feel the man coming in. So or the off man. So good play call by Bobby on this one. Just trying to get to the sticks, trying to get the ball going, trying to get the first down going. And you got a great play by Diggs to run directly underneath the routes, setting up the natural pick and getting into open space, and catch the ball with about 4 to 5 yards to go, and having the will to get past the line and to get that first down it's a great play by our guy.
I agree. Play concept here is exactly what we're looking for, right? We talk about how he doesn't have plays that are good to get people involved.
Mm-hmm.
He can't get everybody involved. There's been some talk about Tank Dell not getting involved enough, or certain players not getting involved enough, or certain players not being good enough or not being targeted enough. But on this particular play call, what we see is any of these players technically could have been the one that's on this outside. I think we're starting to see that Stefon Diggs is that 3rd down guy that we're expecting to go get the first down in tough situations. But this could have been Nico out here. This could have been Tank. it could have been anybody. But what we did is if if they go and bite on Diggs here, Nico's open, or not Nico, but Tank is open on the outside, and we'll kind of go back and I'll show you what I mean here.
Yeah, so
If they bite,
you got two corner routes and an underneath slant. So it's kind of interesting play concept. So Tank has the earlier break, and then Nico has the later break. It's both corner routes. It's a levels concept a bit, and then you got the corner route underneath to pin the outside corner to fight through that much traffic. It's a cool concept, quick hitter. One of the big things I liked about the play throughout the game is like we should have gotten back to stuff like this a little bit more, since they were really putting a hat on our defense or hat on our offensive firepower. They're making sure they like the biggest thing this game was don't get beat deep. Don't let the big play happen. Let CJ methodically move down the ball, move down the field, and let's have them have that type of game. And so if we saw that they were going to be playing us like this, I felt like we should have went back to short, medium route games, trying to get the ball into the our ball players' hands quickly, and then let them go make a move, let them go make a play. Um, Kudos to their defense for making that not easy to do, but I feel like it's something that we should have went back to more. But as we watch the film and as we go through the game, we see why it was just an all around bad game for us.
yeah. And as you're talking about that, one of the things that we know that Brian Flores likes to do is simulate pressure. We could kind of see that simulated pressure here. Really, we have one blocked, two blocked, three blocked, four blocked, five blocked. Kenyon Green's not blocking anybody. Notice Dario Ngumbawale here. They only have four people rushing, right?
Yeah.
But there's seven people on the lower, eight people on the line, and you can see how
And
that
pause it.
forces it.
And pause it right here. Go a little bit, a couple seconds before. So I was, as I was saying on like the H Time Rundown podcast when they had me on earlier this week. This is one of the hardest things offensive lineman, tight end, or running back blocking backfield has to go through. When you walk up to the line and break the huddle, get your into your stance, and you look up and you see this front in front of you. Who are you blocking? That's the first question they go ahead, like who's my man? Who's my responsibility? It's easier for the tackles because they can control the outside guys. Laramie's on the island right now with an inside chip help. Um, Dalton and Titus has the outside on that numbers, and so the interior guys got one, two, three, four and a possible five to decipher through. And so that's where you just set up your protection, set up your line slants or your line protection. You're either going left or going right, slide protection left, slide protection right. Tell the running backs to replace the center, go from in to out, and then just cleaning up from there. This is a hard look for any offensive line, anybody to go through because if you're there, if you're Juice, if you're Shaq, if you're KG, if you're LT, Titus big ass, Dalton Schultz non-blocking ass, if you're any of these guys, who's your guy? Because you got Harrison Smith, 91, 44, Cashman, whoever's there, D tackle, Van Geekel, Bynum is playing like he's over over Dalton, and then you got Grenard on the outside. That's a lot of people to kind of decipher through, and so uh, it's just one of those hard looks to decipher through, and it causes mental lapses among the O line. Though that Brian Flores is in the Minnesota defense probably don't got the best DBs to contend with a lot of teams. Their fronts are good enough to confuse a lot of offenses and just throw them off a little bit, and that's all you need as a DC sometimes to just throw off the timing. So it's just hard to figure things out. So we got the good look. Slide protection left. Larry gets the most outside guy. KG hopefully pushes his 44 inside and picks up 51 or 91 actually. 51 Cashman's got a blitz. He already committed to Juice. 52 already committed to Shaq. 43 already committed to Titus. Then you got Dalton Schultz on a tight end. Should be a fun matchup right there. And then you got 24 dropping out because he realized Dalton's not really running the route. So 44 probably going to drop out because he realized he has responsibility. Somebody has to be in that middle field middle field hole. And so that's a hard thing for O line and the offense to figure out when they start dogging the lines and start not giving honest looks. It's like, all right, how do we sift this out so we can get a playoff?
Exactly. And this, keep in mind, we went from playing the Bears to this. The Bears defense is good. This is a better defense. Or Brian Flores is a better defensive coordinator. And you see it. You could see it by we started the play here and who's coming, right? You don't know. We don't know. They don't know. And even still, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that are up there who end up being blocked at the end. It backs out to 4, it ends up with 6. This is still a crazy amount of stuff that's happening during the play. And that's where we kind of need to respect Brian Flores. You need to put some respect on that man's name because of what he's doing with that defense.
Like I respected him before. Like the last 3 games, he's been showing me like, oh yeah, he's nasty and he's going to be a head coach candidate moving forward.
Exactly. Keep him away from quarterbacks that he doesn't like.
Tell him something.
Sorry,
moving forward. Moving forward.
All right, so moving forward here, I'm gonna say here real quick, Cade Stover, you better hit the weight room this offseason. This is
his welcome to an NFL game. I'll say that. This was for sure his welcome to an NFL game. Like, hey, buddy, it's gonna be like this moving forward, my man. You either nut up or shut up.
Look at that.
This is one of those max protection looks or semi max protection looks. Just trying to get receivers in open space, try to get a big deep gainer, trying to throw off the defense because they trying to figure out if this is a run play, are they trying to attack certain areas of the field. Shout out to Brian Flores defense for being a very, very disciplined team for not biting on the run on this play. I think this was a second and short or third and short situation here.
Second and 2, yeah.
Yeah, second and 2. And so many I guess a more aggressive team would have bit on that play action look with Cam Akers. I don't know if he could have sold the play more, but it's just a very disciplined play by their defense, and you got to give it to that. And this is good. Shout out to Brian Flores because this is great film makeup. Like this is great film watch. This is a great film study. They seen us run this play countless times over the last 2 years with Bobby Slowick. This is a common play amongst the NFL as other teams have told their tight ends to block the major edge rusher on some of these play action looks. This play can stem off into a backside screen. This play can stem off into a late leak with the other tight end. This play can do a lot. As I was stating throughout the week, or since pretty much last year and start of this year, we have a problem with bare fronts. People have asked me like, what does that mean? What does that look like? Um, honestly, is you got a nose tackle, 2-3 techniques that can move out to 5 techniques, and 2 wide nines that can move to 7s. And so with those numbers, you got 5 on 5. And so you can't do. It's hard to do combo blocks. It's hard to do some strategic nuances of our offense in the Shanahan, Kubiak ish play action zone run scheme. And so with that zone run scheme, there's a lot of duo blocks, there's a lot of combo blocks where you got 2 doubles going to the second level. And this front, it's hard as shit to do that because you can't double anybody since everybody has a responsibility in front of them or to the shade of them. And so I've been saying this for the last 2 years or last year because it's certain defenses run this. Like back in the day, Patriots used to always run this shit. The Tennessee always used to run this shit. Hell, we ran this shit a couple times in the Bill O'Brien years. There's a couple of defenses out here that has a bare front. That's their base defense, or they like to roll this a high percentage of the time. What fucked this play, or sorry for my language, what screwed up this play is that Stover actually had help with Cam Akers. The issue is they also sit in a blitz the same side the tight end's supposed to block their best pass rusher. So if you go press play a little bit where Stover motions over, pause it here. So originally you can have Cam Akers, Stover on Jonathan Grenard as Dalton Schultz leaks out for a seam beater or either do a sim out. He got to probably option route, go 10-15 if the DB's into your left side shade, fire it off into the seam. If the DB is riding the seam, fire it off into an out. Simple shit, right? The issue is with the blitz on the same side as the leak, same side as Stover blocking Jonathan Grenard, you have an issue where we are going to leave Stover on the island to block Grenard. And then Akers going to have to block the Benson linebacker. The slot protects to the right because that's how the play design is made. And then you lead to press play. You lead to a situation where you just have a moment where Stover is on the island. He's expecting, all right, either I'm going to feel Cam Akers going to be to my left to help Chip, but then they set the blitz in which I wish as the season goes on, they're going to build up that rapport and that cohesion in which Schultz will go to feel like, all right, the guy that was supposed to carry me up into third level just blitz, and so let me get open in the area because I'm immediately going to be open. I'm immediately going to be open. But it's a play action play. This is a play design. They're working this play hundreds of times in the offseason, hundreds of times last year, and they did it about 3 or 4 times in the last 4 weeks. Oh no, 8 times in the last 4 weeks. They do it like 2 times a half. They run this type of play design, and so you have the situation here. You got Stover, rookie, versus a Grenard, who I think we all seen him get like 6 to 7 sacks last year off of this alone. Like, don't put like yeah, just I want to say don't put him on there because this is going to happen, but it's not the wisest thing to do to have your rookie tight end on their best pass rusher on a deep developing play, and that's kind of my issue with this. This is a deep, long development play, so Stover's going to have to block this guy longer than 3 seconds. Nobody trusts tight ends to block ends longer than 3 seconds. If they do, they always have help. And if they don't have help, it's a quick hitting play, either backside slip screen, a drag coming across the middle, a slip, a slant, a 3 yard stop or a hit, something that's going to be quick hitter. I can get the ball off because hey, I'm about to get one of my linemen is about to get beat. So that's been my gripe with these type of plays is hey, it's possible but you got to run into situations where you got to be shit out of luck. And when you do, when I thank God I was privy to be in meeting rooms where they was doing play designs, they were doing film makeups, are trying to scheme to different opponents, and having to hear coaches have to figure out these conversations like, hey, there could be a situation where Stover, our tight ends, 1-on-1 with the end, they send a linebacker. We have a right, like, so what do we do? And they probably have to have that discussion or either make a play or we just have to live to see another day. And so in this situation, we just hopefully live to see another day. Maybe in films they can say, "Hey, Schultz, get open quicker. Hey, uh, tell somebody to do a hot or something like that." But we just ran. The defense is called a perfect play for this situation, in my eyes, and so leading to a fuck situation like this.
Yeah, I agree. I think the biggest issue that we're seeing here, in all honesty, this play still could have been saved. Bobby Slowick, D'Amico Ryans, they both said it throughout the week. You know, we're calling the players. Players gotta make plays. I talk about this a lot when I talk to a lot of my friends who are Cowboys fans because you know we live here in Texas and I'm in Central Texas where a lot of Cowboys fans are, unfortunately. Uh, but the reality here is Dalton Schultz has to know, yo, we've got 5 on the line. And as you said, Exo, the guy who's supposed to carry him is blitzing. you gotta know the sticks are only right here. It's right here. This is where the sticks are, right in between these two lines, these 2 yard lines. Stop here. Oh, went too far. Stop right around this point where nobody was, and we can kind of see that. Just stop right there and turn around. Give CJ an out right then and there. Allow him to get the first down. You've got to make a better play. This is supposed to be your savvy vet. And these are things that a lot of Texans fans were frustrated at when they were watching Dalton Schultz play last year, and why we had questioned, should we resign him or just go get somebody else like a Brock Bowers and get somebody else who could do these types of things. Because if your savvy vet's not making these plays, how are you helping your quarterback out, right? And we blame a lot of this on Bobby Slowick because, he's the offensive coordinator. But this is one of those moments where I'm like, the players gotta make a play. You gotta recognize what's happening. You have to understand. That's why they bring Stefon Diggs in, because he's at the line, able to see stuff like this and understand he's got to be the hot route here. He's got to help CJ out. But let's look at this from this view. And you've got 5 on 6 here, right? Because we know that he's possibly running up or he's going to chip or something. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you get
you got another bear front with, I guess they go to assume that 51 is going to ride Schultz. He's going to drop into coverage, but 51 ends up blitzing. I don't know if that was a key for the game. Hey, if a tight end slips out when we're bare front and we have the proper leverage, we could just flare, just fire in there. Like, that's your key. That's your key. We see in the film that it's probably only one other receiver running a route on the outside, and he's probably past the numbers. So we believe in our safety. We believe that can make that play. Schultz is not going to run a quicker route. I don't know if the last 3-4 games or the last 3 games have we seen Schultz run quick outs, 5-10 yards outs. Like, I don't think we have seen that. He runs.
We did in the Bears game. We didn't cover the film, but in the Bears game, we do see that he does make some quick outs, because we had some short third down plays or short fourth down plays, and he would go out and make those quick 5 yards. He even did it in this game. In this game, he fumbled. It was called an incomplete pass, but he in this game did the exact same thing where he made a quick out and just caught the ball. And Cashman, or actually, was it Cashman? I think it was Cashman. Cashman hits him and knocks the ball out. So, like, that was part of this game as well. It's like, oh, he forgets that it's only a 2nd and 2. You don't have to go backwards on this play. You don't have to put yourself in a bad situation, knowing that there's a possibility that your rookie tight end is got to go up against the seasoned veteran who was one of the top 10 leaders in sacks last year. Why would you do that?
One of the things I also I'm not really going to say this is an excuse. It's just one of those moments where at the beginning of the show, we said, like, all right, hope they go back into the mirror and, like, see, like, all right, what are we going to be? What are we going to do? Because this play just shows, like, the comfortability in this play, and, like, they're so used to running it a certain depth, running it a certain way. But we were put in a situation where we couldn't just be lackadaisical in the routes he was running. We couldn't be lackadaisical in how he was blocking. Like, this was a situation where I'm seeing Schultz, I'm seeing everybody run their routes like they used to. Like, that's the proper depths that they were supposed to do. But in reality, it was one of those situations where, hey, I need more awareness out of my route runners. But I can't put too much onus on Schultz, because, like, he running the route like I run my 15 yards or 17 yards, then I break out. As soon as I break out, I realize, I should have shortened that up more. And so it's just one of those situations where, like, all right, hopefully they come back to the drawing board and realize, hey, we got to add this adjustment to this route when we see these situations. Like this is what the second drive of the game, right?
Yeah, this is our second drive. So this is after the pick. This is the one where we actually started moving the ball down the field.
Hmm.
And we gave them the second short field in which they scored on because Kaimi missed that. He missed that field goal. Welcome, Brando. Good to see you, my guy. So all that to say this on this particular play, I can understand why Dalton Schultz is like, oh, Blake Cashman is going. Let me just take my 15 year, like, let me just run the play the normal way. We're only down 7. It was a dumb tipped pass. We're still in this game. Nothing's crazy. But you had been seeing their defense kind of do the same things since the beginning of the game. And you know it's going to be a hard fight game. Again, the team acknowledged that they understood that there's a target on their back. Sometimes you got to understand that from the jump. Now, I'm not going to go in and say, oh, Dalton, you're an idiot. But because, I mean, obviously we know what happened after, and hindsight's 2020, right? But you would hope that for future reference in second and short or in short down or short yardage situations, that our team just goes for the first down unless it's in a low like we have to hurry up and because the time is short. Like we need I would hope that in time, like in this particular time where there was like 8 minutes left in the quarter, we would be able to recognize, hey, let's get the first down. And as you said earlier, the dink and dunk game. We talked about this actually prior to the game. I think you, myself, Leo, and a couple of others of us had talked about how this game we should look at dinking and dunking. We should try and play the quick game and don't let Brian Flores start to tee off on our offensive line. It doesn't matter what he's going to do, what bear front he's going to do. If we're getting the ball out faster than they can react, it doesn't matter. But it seems like we went to kind of impose our will rather than, you know what, let's change it up. And that is where I can say we can go up and say, yo, Slowick, you got to change up. You have to change up, especially knowing we know later in the game. All right, next play. Oh man, Foley Fatukasi. Need y'all to watch this, man.
He's a guy, man. That was a great pickup. I'm not even gonna lie to you. He's a guy.
Big up.
I thought he was going to be one of the more undersized guys, but damn.
Man, he's got 3 dudes.
Who's that? Khalil Davis too. Who's that? Khalil Davis too, throwing boys out the club a little bit too.
Oh, right here, yeah. Well, he's a one-on-one right here. One-on-one. Will Anderson's got nobody, or he's essentially there.
He's the read.
He's reading it. It's a screen. Man, Foley to get off of it.
Foley to get off a 3-man block and still make the play. Like, because I want y'all to know there's going to be they ran the same play. I think in the third or fourth quarter where things was getting kind of out of hand, and they ran the same play, but I think it was on Settle, and Settle just missed the tackle, but old boy Jones was able to break it off for about a 20-yard, 25-yard, 30-yard gainer. But the same play with Foley, he's able to decipher the full situation. Shout out to his veteran savviness in the interior D line to understand, hey, these guys are blocking me, but they're not really blocking me. So I know there is going to be some type of bullshit underneath play. There's going to be some type of screen. There's going to be type of some slip shit. Like it's going to be some cute shit. That's the interior D lineman. So he was able to get his eyes up, start looking around, and realize, okay, he didn't even try to block Buddy, and he just swarmed to the ball and prevented a bigger play happening than it could have been. So shout out to that guy Foley, because this is a hell of a play, and shout out to that Trench baby.
Yeah. A lot of double team tackles. So
Mhm.
Brandon says they did a lot of double team the tackles and running behind it. They did. And fun fact, it's not like they were gashing us in the run game a lot of this game. It wasn't until the end of the game that they started gashing us in the run game. In fact, if you go back and look at the stats, like quarter by quarter, you'll actually see that the offenses are pretty even because we didn't allow them really to go past the if they had to go the full field, they never were able to drive the full field except for the end of the game in which Aaron Jones had that giant run and Kalen Bullock saved the touchdown. That was the only time in which that happened. Other than that, they weren't able to drive the full field. It was only short fields. That's the only time they were able to drive the full field. So it was interesting to watch, at least. But on this play, we got to highlight Foley here, taking on 3, understanding. Biggest thing I'm seeing here is keeping his eyes in the backfield, seeing what is happening with the play, understanding that this is a play action. Aaron Jones is leaking out, while at the same time, all 3 of these dudes who should have him in hell and in jail at the same time really aren't doing a lot to him. They're kind of just jostling him around and not really allowing him to get past the spot, but it seems like they're not putting as much effort as they should into it. Realizes 2 come off him immediately and only 67 of that Ingram there. That's the only dude left on him. And he's, again, watched the pass come out, tosses him aside, gets off that block, and makes the play. And that's what you're looking for. We're not looking for him to be superstar here, although it would be nice to have an interior superstar. But you're looking for a dissection of the play and the ability to stop it before it makes too much damage. That's what we saw. Good stuff from Foley.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff from that guy. Good here.
Jalen Petrie setting the edge. That's what you got there.
Uh,
I need y'all to understand something about Jalen Petrie. We talk about how he sucks, but did you see how 4 had to make that play immediately, or this is blown up in the backfield? If he doesn't take Jalen Petrie out, who it still makes the tackle. Let me slow that down for y'all. Jalen Petrie is back there.
It's a crazy, tenacious, active, high motor play. Coming from his nickel position, I want y'all to realize he sets the edge. The play can go all the way to the sideline if 4 is able to keep Jalen amongst the flowing line. Jalen sets the edge, forces the play to change. Either cut up a hole it wasn't supposed to cut up, or make the running back do something that he's not wanting to do. So running back hit you go from the hashes to the numbers to the sideline, go score. That's what they taught from fucking Little League. And so you forcing the running back to make a move, adjust his run. He got his eyes on you. He's got his hot feet. Oh shit, Jalen's Pearson. All right, let me make a move when I don't want to make a move. At the same time, Jalen sets the edge. Shout out to Will Anderson for putting Darisaw in the spin cycle, or putting Darisaw looking like some old-fashioned saloon doors because he's opened up left and right, just trying to block this man. And Jalen Petrie sets the edge, almost gets pushed out the play, resets, and makes the tackle. That's a high effort play right there. I am giving my all for the team, all for the play, all for the name on the back of my jersey, man, on the front of my jersey. And I had to highlight and give him his kudos. Yeah, he might be a liability in deep coverage. And I'm glad that the Texans understood, hey, let's not put him in deep coverage the whole game, but they put him in his natural position where he won all Big 12, where he was award winner in that box position as a safety, and let that man go to work. He's an undersized linebacker, as Leo from Texas 22 like to say, and he's a decent one. Like he does his fucking job at times. And I just have to give him his flowers and his, credence on this play, because I know a lot of people used to talk shit about him. But hey, this is a hell of a play from Jalen. Last year wasn't his best year, as we all know. we was kind of playing him out of position at that deep safety look, but we got him down in the box. Go to find some work. Go have a knack at finding the football and go get it. And so shout out to that boy on that play.
A couple other things I wanted to bring up on this play because yes, I think Jalen Petrie does an amazing job on this particular play. But a couple things I also want to highlight here. One, we got old man Jerry Hughes over here, the grandpa on the team. Man comes from all the way across the field to help make that tackle. Also, shout out to the awareness of Kalen Bullock, who starts to walk down before the play, avoids 84, and is up in there. I don't think people recognize that he does have a nose for the ball. Whoopsie. I mean, he avoids this completely. This is more he's just unblocked. But this guy is specifically coming. 84 was specifically coming for Bullock to block him. He avoids it effortlessly and is at the play pretty quickly. So,
and shout out to Kalen for getting the start this week. Hopefully he has a baller game this week because it's just gonna be him and Murray.
Yeah. Well, where's Jimmy Ward? Is he out?
I believe he was out from the last one. I'm not. Let me go make sure. Let me not misspeak. But I think the last injury report, it was looking like he's probably not going to play this week, just due to he hasn't practiced all week.
If somebody finds it before us, go ahead and put it in the chat if Jimmy Ward is out or not. Yep. Brando said he out. All right.
Oh, yeah. So yeah,
Bullock has been playing phenomenal back there, but yeah.
Texans ruled out Tank Dell, Dameon Pierce, and Jimmy Ward. Joe Mixon is questionable. Foley Fatukasi is for questionable. No injury designation for Nico Collins, KG, Patterson, and Schultz. Okay. So yeah, Kalen Bullock's first start, official start, and hopefully he balls out this game because I can't wait. He's been every week, but have you looked at his snap counts over since week 1 to this week? Like not even like linearly, like exponentially more and more plays. It went from like 30% to like 70% to like 80% last game. So it was only a matter of time. I think that's where I had my guess for him when he was going to basically just start. It was like week 4, week 5. I wish it wasn't due to injury, so it could be like pure, like, hey, I just took your spot. Like I'm the better player, but hey, like the snap counts don't lie. He's a guy. He needs to be on the field.
Yeah, and I think we can also say it's interesting because in 3 weeks he should have had a pick against he should have had a pick against what's his name from the Caleb Williams. So he would have had 2 picks in 2 weeks. He got a pick against Anthony Richardson. Should have had a pick against Caleb Williams, and he should have had a pick this game.
Yeah.
So he's had 3 games where he's shown his ball hawking capability.
He has a knack. He's a knack for finding that ball in the air, man. Shout out to whoever the scouting department is. Shout out to whoever was able to see that. I know a couple of like this one right here. It was sheesh. But shout out to the guys getting Caleb in the building, man, because that's a good safety for us.
Yeah, facts. I mean, I don't know how you can even say. Like, I don't know since I don't even know who is the last deep ball safety that we've had that's been this good at ball hawking from the jump.
The last one we had, last good one.
Yeah, the last one I could think of is Andre Howell, but he's not. He was good
when he was,
but he wasn't great. Like,
what was the last Texans great safety? I'm honestly trying to think about, like, we have some good, like,
good call out, Daniel Manning. Good call out. But yeah, this is Glover Quinn is probably another one, right? I mean,
was he great?
Daniel Manning was probably the best we've had, and I would say that he's been as good, if not better.
He's projected to be way better than that guy.
So, and this is his rookie year, y'all, and he's playing a position that's not easy. Like he's out there, he's out there rocking it. Yeah, center field and this stuff, and correctly diagnosing quarterbacks.
I remember watching plays at USC of him where they literally put him 15, 20 yards. Alex Grinch put him 15, 20 yards down the field and ball hawked. Like, I got it, coach. You can run man outside and I'll figure it out. I decipher. Derek Stingley with his baiting shit sometimes, it's very aggravating. But if you're that much of a better athlete than any person on the other side of the ball, I get it. But it's like, my guy. That like this is like the worst baiting I've ever. Like, I get as a tight end, I can catch up to the tight end. I don't care. Like I'm waiting for this ball. Like this is pure ball skills by Derek Stingley and Caleb Bullock. They went for the ball, but it's like crazy to think Derek Stingley gave this man a 5-7 yard cushion, and Bell technique where I'm not even full sprint. I'm damn near gliding until I see where the ball is like actually coming to. And to both of them to make a play on the ball. If either one of them wasn't there, it's a pick. But since both of them were there, they ran into each other. It's a crazy concept, man. It's a crazy concept.
And you could see, look at their reactions, right? I'll go back before the little black screen. Look at their reactions. They know. Oh, if you weren't there, you can.
Man, they look like what?
Derek Stingley's like, I had it. And Caleb Bullock is like, I had it. They're both crazy, saying that. And coming from being in the situation of 84, who's getting up there, them dudes they knew they had it. This was a pick. This was a interception that should have been. One of them dudes should have been
one of them. Another interception in the stat column, man.
Exactly. And Stingley, had there been no Bullock, had that been Jimmy Ward, who was over here somewhere, not ready, Stingley has that pick. Has Stingley been playing on the other side? He's got that pick. That's how insane this is. So Houston Texans fans, know that your secondary is better than we thought. And I'm not going to preach on them. Last year, they're not as deep. But last year, we talked a lot about our wide receiver core not being as good as we, as people thought. And we talked a lot about our secondary not being that great. This was the weakest part of the defense. Suddenly, it's not so much.
You have a better outside. You have another better outside corner and a better safety, other than Jimmy Ward out there. So, of course, like Kamari Lassiter is better than Stevie Nelson right now, and Caleb Bullock is better than a hurt Jimmy Ward and Eric Murray.
No, okay. I think this is one of the plays you added because Kamari Lassiter is a dog here.
A dog. Like this is it's a corner. This is a corner making a run defense play in the box. He comes front, like he comes into like that's corners are not used to doing shit like that. That's not.
I need y'all to understand this real quick before you jump into the like they're not used to doing stuff like this. Look at how far off he is from the box. Look at how far he's almost at the 40.
And he creep.
He makes the play a yard from the line of scrimmage. Look at this is not a weak running back. It's Aaron Jones.
That's a guy right there. Like, he's not a guy, the guy, but he's no slouch at the running back position.
My fantasy team in the last 2 years would agree with you. This man is insane. He's ridiculously good in the passing game. He can run the rock, and he did run the rock against us. He's not even in the frame. We don't even have Kamari Lassiter in the frame. The first time we see him in the frame is him making the tackle. And you're right, Brando. He missed this tackle. This might go for a lot further than a 1 yard gain. This might be a touchdown. Although I'm not sure. Eric Murray's right over there, but he No, that's Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward was not taking the best angles. But still, but you were going to say something, Max. What were you going to say?
No, just more in the lines of just the type of play this man is making is crazy. Like we we needed over the last 5 years another cornerback that can do those run fields where, hey, the D line, the defense has plugged the gaps, and the flow of the run is flowing outside. And so you either need a safety or a corner to make that tackle from it being a 1, 2, 3 yard gain to being a gainer for 15, 20 yards. I know y'all remember the last 2, 3 years where w- running backs having career days on us because they get to that outside flow and a cornerback's not there. They either went inside too hard, they made a business decision on the outside, and something that turns into a 2nd and 8, a 2nd and 5, a third and 4, 3rd and 8 turns into a first down, 15, 20 yards downfield, and the momentum swinging all on the offensive side. So I fully appreciate a cornerback coming down, making a play, causing cause adding some umph and some tenacity to the defense, the D line, the linebackers doing proper run fields, and then a DB cleaning shit up like that shit is beautiful to see. That's beautiful football right there.
You could see why the Giants in the offseason hard knocks really targeted Kamari Lassiter as a guy they wanted.
I
Um,
don't I don't appreciate Foley getting thrown off the ball like that, but that's another conversation for a different day.
we don't need to talk about that. We could just
We don't need
talk
to talk
about
about that. Yeah, I
just
got you.
talk
Got you.
about how good Kamari Lassiter was on that play because all this was sealed off. I need y'all to understand it. The edge was not set. Derek Barnett, that's not set.
Fighting for his life. He was
He's
fighting
fighting
for
for
his
his
life.
life over there. He's gonna get past, but he's breaking that tackle. That was a hand tackle, and that's not a way. Look, he's gonna break that tackle, and he's gonna keep running if Kamari Lassiter in the open field cannot stop that.
Love to see it, man.
Great play by a rookie.
What we got here? We got a motion look, trying to get Jay Jettis a better look since they like to do a little cloud look on him. They trying to get us into a disadvantageous situation. We got a delayed blitz by Petrie. And then we got a great play by our D line. Like, get to the quarterback. The goal is to get to the quarterback. It don't got to be the most prettiest thing that you can see. It don't got to be the greatest thing that you see. But at the end of the play, I need the quarterback on the ground behind the sticks. And so Sam Darnold had some plays this game where he did extend it, and it was very frustrating at times. But this is a situation to look for. Another thing is don't give the defensive rookie of the year a free lane, open gap to your quarterback because it can be a situation like that. Um, this is what this is as a former O lineman. I used to play center, but the tackles used to always get pissed at this, where the tight ends do chip, but they chip them so interestingly that they throw them out of leverage for them. So you got Warsaw, Darisaw, right, or whatever the name is for
Dershaw,
the
yeah.
I think yeah, he's he got some chip help from their tight end. He also himself helped chip a lot the Mario Edwards to help out his guard. But now he has a lot of ground to cover after helping out his guard to go get our guy full speed. And so shout out to Will Anderson Jr. running the loop. Next time I need you to finish since you got a beeline for the quarterback. Don't be afraid. Just I know you're trying to not get a flag or anything like that, but you got to fight through that O lineman's arms get to the quarterback. I know he'll come full speed trying to push you out the way, run you through the loop, but at this point in time, you won. Like you beat him to the arc. So run the arc, get to the quarterback, get a play, but he's able to throw off the throw off Sam Darnold, get his feet hot. He feels some type of way. Now he got to move around and boom, we get a sack. So that shit kind of beautiful.
Yeah. you also got to give a lot of credit to the secondary here. There's nothing really open. The most open play is right here to 4. Kalen Bullock recognizes that and advances down. And you can see that here. He recognizes that Azeez Al-Shaair is starting to get beat. So he starts his come down here. This is a play that looks beat over here, but you see that Stingley stays in phase and that's Nailers is not really going anywhere. You've got Ward who's right here, and this is probably the worst position right here. But by this point, nothing was truly open yet before he's already going down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you have to say this is a total defensive team win here. You've got the pressure that's coming in, great pressure from
Petrie.
From Petrie. You have Petrie, not just Petrie, but you also have Will Anderson coming free off the edge because of a little bit of a overzealous block there by the tight end. You also have what's interesting is that Tim Settle thoroughly wins this rep. I need y'all to understand this because was it Mario Edwards is the other guy? Look where Mario Edwards is. And look where Tim Settle is. Tim Settle continues to drive backwards, but this isn't really a drop back. He's still up here. Tim Settle just won. He said, I'm going to win this rep, and it is what it is.
Tim Settle, I'm going to put your lineman in your quarterback's lap. As an interior D tackle, that's one of the better feelings, but it's one of those strong, like I'm a stronger than you type of situations. Like I'm gonna put you in your quarterback lap. Like I'm stronger than you. I'm better than you. Hit the weight room.
No specific. No, he didn't
no moves.
Do any moves. He just.
I'm stronger than you. I'm stronger than you, my guy. I like this look as well because it gave a lot of players one-on-ones, and with our D line. We can, if we get a one-on-one look, a lot of our players can win outright. No ifs, ands, or buts. Like a lot of our players can win one-on-one situations. So I'm glad we got the delayed blitz look, and it was able to get a lot of our D linemen that one-on-one look that they want. And you saw if you get that one-on-one look, you get that pressure. Boom, we win games like that, man.
Yep, indeed. All right, on this particular play. Same thing kind of happens here. This one is also Tim Settle. Settle got 2 sacks this game. Well done by Settle.
Settle had a hell of a game this game. Settle had a hell of a game.
Oh, Settle just said bye.
He said, "Get off of me. Get off of me." Look at that little dance, man. Do your dance, man.
Man, became a little penguin in the backfield. This play doesn't even have time to develop. And I'm not sure anything's open on this play either.
Shout out to Derek Stingley for applying sticky coverage to Jay Jettis. Read that route.
He throws that ball. That's a pick.
Mm-hmm.
He throws that ball. That's a pick.
His other options only on the left side of the field. That's pretty much covered up for the most part. If he tries to rifle that ball on that out and up, if he tries to, that's pretty much. Shout out to who is that? Toto on the running back.
Yeah, Toto is over here.
Hey man, Powell's not an easy guy to guard in open field. And so shout out to Toto for staying in his hip and riding them all the way through the route, man. Because that's a great play right there.
Yeah, and I know Toto has gotten a lot of flack over the last year, particularly from AD of the H-Town Rundown, which go check out the H-Town Rundown. Those guys are awesome.
Definitely.
Also go check out and everybody else out as well.
Texas 22, our boys with Harley and them, the Stressings guys. Hey man, it's a lot of boys. There's a lot of good content creators out here, man.
And he's right. Corey Barrett here saying, give my guy his flowers. Indeed. Give Toto his flowers. The man has played very well this entire time. These first 3 games of the season, he has played very well. He has not been the liability he was in coverage last year. He's not been the liability on the field that he was last year. You can see what the Texans saw in him and why they drafted him.
And it does pose a question. and we probably gonna talk about it after. I'm just gonna put it in. I might write it down as well. What happens when Christian Harris comes back? Because you do have a possibility to put three linebackers on the field now,
Yeah.
and two of them being very very athletic. And
Yep.
so you do have questions to ask, like what happens when our boy C Harris comes back, because he's a monster as well. He's a heat-seeking missile, and so it'll be very interesting.
I'm gonna answer this question real quick. No, we don't. Christian Harris is not the same. What I will say is where Christian Harris is better than To'o is Christian Harris is faster than To'o. He's better in coverage than Henry To'o. And he's probably better in coverage than Aziz Al-Shire also, or Aziz Al-Shire also. So he's going to be our best coverage linebacker. And what that states to us is that we don't have to play actually, you know what? I'm gonna go back on this. We do. Where does Petrie play once Christian Harris comes back?
We'll come back to that at the end of the show.
We'll come back to that here in a little bit. Actually, you know what? Where does not Petrie? Who comes off? Is it Jimmy Ward? Is it Petrie? Is it Bullock? We'll come back to that. Because that's a really good that's actually a really good question by Brando there. I think I put this play in. This is a play that you put in here. Jalen Petrie does another great job of he gets beat at first, and you can see it. No. He's like, oh no. Also, this right here, I think this is Kamari Lassiter realizes, oh snap. Look, Stingley's realizing it from the jump. He's calling it out. He's calling out everything that's happened here. Man, Petrie's half an inch taller.
Oh, that's my bad. My connection's kind of slow right now. So I'm finally seeing the play now. So yeah, this is one of those plays where on a 3,000-foot view, this is one of those plays like I felt like another one of those, they're going to win this game because everything is falling in their favor. But I had to give a little bit of acknowledgement to Jalen Petrie for fixing his fuck up, because that is his man. He did have his eyes in the backfield trying to see where that run gainer was, but he had enough, I guess, oomph and enough, I guess, motor to make it out there to even just get a play on the ball. And so shout out to Jalen Petrie, but hey, keep having your damn eyes in the backfield like that, G.
Yeah,
because you could have.
But
he could have.
Yeah, he could have had a pick, and it would have been pick 6, and this would have actually been the right time for it, because that would have put us back in the game. I believe we had just scored, and it was like 24-7, and that would have made the game 24-14, with us now having some momentum going back. So yeah, interesting bit that happened here. I like how this play shakes out in the end. This is actually an incomplete pass, ruled incomplete. So he does kind of save himself. But I mean, that's a heck of a catch by Naylor there. That's a heck of concentration. It reminds me of Stingley's play against Justin Jefferson, where he tips the ball and Jefferson still catches it and gets the feet in bounds. That's not bad play by Stingley. That's excellent play by Justin Jefferson, because he gets that ball. So yeah, great concentration there. Another real quick thing that I wanted to kind of bring up here in this game, before we move on to the last play, and before we get to Barrett's comment there, one thing that I wanted to kind of bring up here is, should we be a little bit worried about Danielle Hunter, who against better offensive lines seems to have been negated? I think he only had 2 tackles. One of my buddies at work brought that up, who was a Vikings fan. He was like, Danielle Hunter was kind of getting shut up and shut down in this play. So do we have any worry about him at all? I'm going to say no, and I think that's another conversation we have at the end as well.
Yeah, not at all. We can have the conversation. And there's no problems with Daniil. Um, he's still a guy. This was just one of those games where we weren't playing to our potential. We weren't playing to what we know we can play. And he's one of those guys that he even probably said himself like we just didn't play the best like we could have. And he was there in a lot of situations. Oh yeah, just like I was about to say, like Barry said, he generated pressure. He just didn't finish at the ball. Like that's just what he was there. He just didn't get the quarterback down. He didn't get the TFL. But he was there. And so sometimes it goes in our favor. Other times it doesn't. And so this is one of the games like where we see him there. He's at the feet. He's there, but the ball gets out. He's there. He's at the feet, but the running back slips out and did some other shit. So it's just one of those moments. It was one of those games where it happened like that.
Yeah. Now this is one of those plays. We talked about Dalton Schultz earlier.
Yeah, this is
we talked about Dalton Schultz earlier. I put this one in because this play, for those who don't know and who don't know me very well, I'm a season ticket holder for the Texans. I'm at usually all of the home games unless I can't make it for whatever reason. But I flew out to this game. One, I went to go visit some family, my sister-in-law, but I also went to go see this game. And Barrett, you're absolutely right. This play angered me, but there's two reasons why it angered me. One, it showed that we were just off, because how many times, and you guys can in the chat, feel free to ask it or answer. How many times have we seen this play work where
you just got to hit Dalton in the seam?
Yeah, that Dalton Schultz is hit on in the seam, and this is a perfect play. In fact, we saw this play against Atlanta, where CJ Stroud hits him, and then we leave too much time and lose in Atlanta last year. But we saw this exact same play work. We see the offensive line give time. We see everything open up. The secondary is not right. Grugier Hill is not able to keep up there. We see everything. Schultz just has to catch the ball. And I'm not
exactly. Say it again, Brandon. Effort.
Exactly. It's like, come on, you have to give a little bit more. We're losing at this point. This is the fourth quarter, but we're still in the game. We're down 17. We know that this team can put up points. The Texans can do it. We've almost been there the entire game. And if you make this catch, the tide turns, and you can even see it in his like
fucking run full speed. Why don't you run full speed?
It's like, come on, dude. Like, look at this.
And I get it. If you are a receiver or a fellow receiver, I get it. This is one of the hardest catches to make, over the shoulder, over the head. But at the end of the day, you're in the fucking NFL. This is a catch a lot of people can make. Even the fourth or fifth guy on the practice squad can make this goddamn catch. Exactly. That's a guy that no fucking ball. I love when I talk to Barrett, boy, because like, bro, whatever you.
So Barrett, we talked about it, right? That these are plays. Yes, CJ has been a little off too, and I said that earlier, right? That this shows you just how off we've kind of been. Where this play has been made hundreds of times, and we've watched it before, where he's hit the tight end in the seam with no issue.
Hey, give me the tight view. I want to see his feet when he delivers his ball. He has ample amount of time. Everybody picks up. They try to slant left, but it wasn't a slant twist that was fucking us up all game. So this is just a regular slant. The blitz off the right side. Man.
He just overthrew it. Like, he just overthrows, just a little bit too far. Feet are good.
Good poise. Ain't no real rush. Nobody's touched. Oh, that shit hurt to watch. I'm like, that's one of those gainers we need in the play to turn the tide a little bit.
Exactly, but he more of resets.
Because if you just look at this, he makes this throw 9 times out of 10, and this is the 10th time he just misses it.
But this is where you're right, Barrett. Right, and we talked about this earlier in the second play, I believe. The one that was the sack where Cade stuff. Actually, let me go back to that play because we're pretty much done with plays here. But this is one of these plays that we need to discuss, right? This play right here, we don't have to take a sack here. We don't have to. Like, if you just stop right here, it's 2nd and 2. Help your quarterback out a little bit.
I forgot
Help your
this was
rookie tight end out a little bit.
this
Help
was a short play. Just hit the sticks, bro.
just get to the sticks. Just get there. And you're right. We can't even call it a miss. Yes, on this particular play, I can't even say I can't defend my boy Stover here. Cade is on.
That's a welcome to NFL moment. I said,
this is a welcome to the look at Cade at the end of this. Cade's making snow angels. But you're saying he has to take the easy money, but the easy money on this play runs away from him, right? And that's the problem. That's what we're kind of seeing here is the person that needs to be in the right spot here, the person that should be the savvy vet that's stopping, doesn't do it. He doesn't recognize it. And you're right. He looks like he's half-stepping again. But let's get to the tight view here. And I want to pause it at a very specific point here. Right when the play starts here. Cashman is blitzing. He should recognize the guy who's supposed to carry me down the field is blitzing. We already saw a bare front. We already saw 5 guys on the line. You got to realize, hey, this guy who's supposed to be carrying me up the field is not there. I'm open right now. Let's get the first down and move on. We put it on the big screen. Hey, go if you got NFL Pro, go look at that. Go look at NFL Pro. If you don't have it, hit me up and I'm more than willing.
We'll send you the
we'll send you. If you don't have it, let me know so I can show you, because this is the stuff that when we're watching the plays, this is the stuff that makes me angry. It's the stuff that Leo can attest to it. VT can attest to it. I think Brando, you've even been on and it can attest to it. Exo, you can attest to it. I have been upset simply because I'm like, just stop. Yep. Yeah, but you know,
like
you
know, awareness. Like, where's your awareness? You know what route you have. You know who's supposed to guide you up to the safety. But yet, like you said, like I was saying earlier, I think this play, everybody just got comfortable in how they just run the routes and just how they just do shit. They wasn't situationally aware. They didn't realize it's 2nd and 2, 2nd and 1. He didn't realize, oh, the guy that carries me to the safety that I usually feel on these routes blitz. And so I got a lot of open space right there at the sticks. And I'm praying to God they had that moment where they looked themselves in the mirror and realized how bad they played and that they need to turn this shit around. Like, look at the line judge. Go to the 25 with your mouse over there by the sticks on the left side of the screen. Look at the line judge. Go to the left. That's the line of scrimmage. Go to the right. That's the first down. Look at how much.
And here we can even see it down here on the bottom. I know it's kind of blocked by this, the play and all that stuff down here, the controls. You could see it down here at the bottom. This is the line of scrimmage. Here's the first down marker on the other side of the field. Look at all the space. I would say he would have gotten a bigger gain if he just stops. If he just stops, turns, catches.
Make a savvy vet play, please.
This is blocked up. This guy's got to come down 10 yards. He's got all of this space over here.
But 2nd and 2.
But Brando, Barrett, I know we've all talked about this. We all had the conversations on X prior, right? We were talking about, should we bring this guy back and pay him the money if he's not making the plays? I'm never one to take money out of another man's pocket. But this is one of those plays where I get a little bit upset because you have to help we got to go back to what Barrett said earlier. They got to help CJ though. CJ is allowed to be off by 1/2 inch by 6 inches. He's allowed to be off by that much, but you guys got to help him out. Players got to make plays. You got to do it. Takes us back up to the last play. Like this is one of those plays right here. Why'd you slow up at the 50, bro? You've got the man beat. Why'd you slow up at the 50? Right? This is the stuff that makes you angry, because if he doesn't slow up, actually, let me go back a little bit, because that proves a point. If he doesn't slow up at the 50 just a little bit, that's a dot. He's dropped into the bread basket.
Give me the tight angle too after this.
But yeah, I'm gonna let it go. And this there is a little bit that's on Bobby here, right? There is a little bit. But this is what the savvy playmakers do. This is what they have to do. You come on, bro. You got to be better than this. Right? You got to be better than this. And I didn't notice it until just now. So we're in the same boat. But you see him slow up at the 50. You see him slow, and this is a dot. This is an absolute dime. If he does not slow up at the 50, this is in the if he just runs full speed,
I'm gonna hit
it's a drop in the bread basket. In stride.
I'm gonna hit you in stride.
We got to go back to earlier. We talked about how CJ looks a little off. That's not a little off on this play. That's a dot. That's a beast of a throw. And we didn't even go back and show you all the plays where penalties took us out, because we wanted to show you the good stuff that we did, the stuff that actually looked good.
Back to Corey's other point. They gotta help CJ, bro.
Exactly. He looked off the cover. Come on now. Look, this dude's all the way over there.
Run full speed. I'm gonna drop it in the bucket.
I honestly think he slows up because he looks for the ball, and so he slows down. But this is the
type view, yeah, in the run.
This is the unacceptable bit, right? That they're not unacceptable, but this is the stuff where it's like, I understand you slow down a bit when you look back, but like your quarterback did everything for you to get you the ball down the seam, and you stop. Come on, bro. Like, you got to be better. You got to be better here. These are the things. And it's not even just Schultz, right? I know it sounds like I'm picking on Dalton Schultz, but it's everybody on the team. We have to be better. We're not going to just roll out there and beat everybody. We have to be better. We have to play on our A game. We cannot play down to opponents. We cannot play our style of football by walk-through style plays like this. You have to be better. Have to be better here. This might have got Jimmy Ward. This might have got Henry To'oTo'o because he's a little bit slower. But this ain't going to get, like, this might have in practice been oh man, we just messed up a little bit. But this isn't even a 9 times out of 10 play. 10 out of 10 times he put that in the right spot. We gotta run. We gotta run through it. Now we've been on the film for a while. We've talked about this for a while. We had some stuff we wanted to talk about. So let's get off the film, right? We've gone through, we've shown you the plays. We've shown you that we didn't play in a completely and utterly terrible game. And that just the minor things is what stopped us from gaining momentum again. The penalties, the lack of effort, the lack of savvy moves, the lack of understanding and lack of wanting to change up at the end, right? These things are things that stopped us from winning the game. And yeah, he Yeah, he might have gotten a lot better. You're right on that. I do think he is still not going to have the same numbers he had last year. I think he'll be a little worse, and people will call that a sophomore slump. But I think that's just because we have more weapons and we have a running game now, so he doesn't have to throw for 500 yards. But there were two things in particular that we wanted to bring up, EXO. One, obviously, is effort. One is the effort that we're seeing. The other one, is what Brando kind of brings up here earlier with the do we have a controversy at linebacker? And I kind of want to get into this conversation. So as you guys are watching this, feel free to comment. Feel free to drop some comments. If you're watching on X, feel free to jump over to YouTube, give us a like, a comment. If you like the content that we've got going on here, subscribe. But go ahead and drop some comments here so we can have this conversation. Because the reality is, what happens when Harris gets back? Who's coming off the field? Is it Pitre? Petre's been playing well in his spot. Does Pitre come off the field?
Does Jimmy Ward?
Does Jimmy Ward come off the field? He's hurt right now, so that might just be the man down. Does Kalen Bullock come off the field? I don't think we can take him off the field. His ball hawking skills have been tremendous. He's been phenomenal. But which safety do we take off the field?
Because like right now we run a 4-2-5 with 4 D linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 DBs with the 5th DB being Jalen Pitre. When it's our big dime looks, it's 4-1-6 or some shit like that, where it's like 6 DBs, just Aziz, and then the D lineman. The issue is if we do the 4-3, D'Amico didn't even run that type of shit for the 49ers. So we're going to have a surplus of toys to work with in that linebacker room. You know, Aziz, he's not coming up. He's played every snap at Mike linebacker green dot since he got here.
Mm-hmm.
You have Henry stepping up because Christian Harris had went down, but Henry stepping up, he stepped all the way to fuck up. He looks like a very competent linebacker. He was that last year. He was just a rookie trying to get used to the NFL game and the NFL speed. Now you got Christian Harris, which we learned last year, who's an athletic demon that can fly sideline to sideline and can contain a lot of shit. So does D'Amico have to force himself to play that 4-3, that true 4-3, or does he do a lot of exotic things? And so I'll keep Henry's turning into a guy that's going to be a green dot one day. Like Henry's turning into that type of guy, like where he's going to be the true Mike. He was like that at Alabama. He was like that at Tennessee. Christian Harris is an athletic demon. He's the type of linebacker that you need that type of range for. Like
Mm-hmm.
he can cover any running back out the backfield. He can cover even tight end across the field. He can cover, I think, most wide receivers or a good amount of wide receivers in the league. So you would love to have that on the field. So do you force Jalen to be a true safety and put him and Kalen Bullock back there, and then have Kamari and Derek Stingley on the outside? Because I would at this point in time. Would I play him like how the Steelers played Ryan Clark and Troy Polamalu? I'll let Kalen Bullock just be a center fielder and just have a side of the field, and then tell Jalen Pitre, hey, you got. I don't even know because.
Yeah. So comment down below, but this is the predicament. If you take Jalen Pitre off the field, you lose that natural talent he has to sniff the ball out at the line of scrimmage and 5 yards, even 15 yards in towards the line of scrimmage and in the backfield. You take that away from him. You take that raw swarm mentality to stop the ball early. You take that out of the game. But
Yeah,
Jimmy Ward is not as fast as Jalen Pitre.
But he's better in coverage than Jalen Petrie because Jalen Petrie hasn't gotten it yet.
Exactly. But do you take which one? Which do you take? Do you take the speed of way, a speed the speed aspect out of the game and take Jalen Petrie out, or do you take the injured person, the one who's more injured and who has made more mistakes in the deep game out of the game, at least this season, right? Because Jalen Petrie really hasn't played deep, right? But if you take out Jimmy, right, you lose that leadership. You lose that leadership and you lose
Do
that
we?
experience.
I mean, do we need that leadership at that point in time?
He's
Because
a captain back there, so you're losing that leadership. You're losing
fuck
that
that, we got
experience.
Aziz. We got Aziz back there.
Well, he's not in the safety. He's not in the DB room.
I get
That's
it, but
not.
it's like Jimmy's already not a healthy guy, so we could already pencil him for missing more games just this game. He doesn't have that much. Jalen's faster than what's his name? Jalen's faster than
He's faster than Ward. He's
Jimmy,
faster than Murray. He's
but
faster than everybody
but
else
I'm
that's
not
back
even looking
there.
on the speed. I'm looking at like the run game and pass game. Who's the better run defender? It's going to be Jalen Petrie. But who's
Mm-hmm.
the better pass defender? Do you like Jimmy Ward in coverage more than you like Jalen in coverage? And if not, then you have to figure out you have to adjust your defense to not have Jalen Petrie in coverage that much. Even though we're trying to go to the 4-3 look, because you're gonna have a situation where you're gonna have to force. Because this is what they're doing now. They're telling Jalen to guard the flats like he's a linebacker, but they disguise him as a DB nickel and let him carry past 5 yards. So once he gets to 5, 6 yards, he pushes him out and let the DBs carry him out to the 10 to 15 to 20 range. And that's how they disguise Jalen Petrie not being in coverage. There are certain situations where Jalen does get put in coverage, but they're not throwing the ball to him that much often. But if we do have the three linebackers in, you have a situation where you got to force Jalen to be in coverage, and the team's going to see, oh, Jalen can't cover double moves. Jalen can't cover breaks that well. Jalen can. Jalen's gonna bite on certain moves. Like Jalen bites on double moves. He bites on slants and shit like that. Like I've seen him get eat up by a slant stop before. Like motherfucker run 2 steps stop and Jalen's still running. Like he's still running. And so you're gonna have situations where you're gonna have to tell the linebacker to guard the flats and tell Jalen you pick him up after the linebacker passes it off to him. But you gonna leave a situation where you're gonna have Jalen and 15 to 20 yard depth coverage where it's just Jalen and the receiver. Like there's no
Mm-hmm.
help, Jalen. It's just you and the receiver. And so we saw last year when that happens, he gets ate up 50% of the clip. But I don't know, like, because I would like to have the three linebackers on the field, but you don't need the three linebackers all the time.
Yeah, but here's the other problem, and I think Barrett, you bring up a good
Okay,
point,
that's
right?
good.
If we stick with the 4-2-5, because unless we're playing a run heavy team, the Ravens, unless we're playing a team like that, or even now the Bills are starting to get that way as well, right? If we're gonna play a run heavy team, do you take out Henry To'o, who is also, people forget how good he is in the run game as well.
I can't take out Henry. He's earned the right to be on the field.
So so we're not taking Aziz out. We're
Yeah,
saying Henry is playing good enough. So it's got to be Petrie, right? But if you're saying we're not taking Henry out and we're playing the 4-2-5, who does Harris take over for?
because you can't put him on slot. He needs to be a rotational piece because as of right now, I know Aziz has played of every snap that's been on the defensive side of the ball. Like he hasn't come out the game yet. So Christian Harris is going to be that rotational piece. Henry's going to become the green dot when Aziz is not on the field. Whenever Henry is tired, they just put Harris in. That's the only logical way because when Aziz was with the 49ers and they had three goddamn good linebackers, they still didn't play three linebackers all the time. They still was their base defense was still 4-2-5. Yeah, they had a 4-3 looks where they had Aziz, Warner, and Greenlaw all on the field at one time. But that wasn't their base look. That was in certain situations where they could put 3 linebackers out there, have Hufanga be the center fielder, and then have the other safety just roam around a little bit. And that's why I feel like I would do with Petrie and Bullock if they're in situations where a Murray is not out there and a Ward is not out there and just those two. I'll tell Kalen to be the center fielder and then tell Jalen to be around the box and then just take the tight end and just call it a day from there. But it's a hard situation where if like we're in a situation now, we got decent linebackers, damn good, three damn good decent linebackers, and do you want to put all three of them on the field or do we just because
Well, we
go ahead?
now have a conversation that we have to bring up again. We were under the impression that our linebacker room had no depth. I do think after Toto, the depth falls away as well because
Drops out
Hansen, but we were under the impression that again, this was a conversation a lot of people had before the season. Henry Toto is not it. He's not ready still. So we need to go out and get another linebacker, only to see that Henry Toto through 3 weeks is one of the better linebackers in the league. And that Azeez is up there, and that we're expecting Christian Harris, who's supposed to be significantly better than Henry Toto, to be back. What?
Yeah, like at this current time, we only have played 2 linebackers. That's Azeez and Henry. We have 4 other linebackers: Ezekiel, Jake Hansen, Neville Hewitt, Deshaun. Like they don't play linebacker; they play special teams at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so DeMeco has, from the snap counts alone, I'm only playing 2 guys and maybe 3 whenever Christian Harris comes back because he's going to be on the field. So we only have 3 linebackers. We only have 3 linebackers on this team that play. And so Azeez is sitting at 100% plays, except for last week when he missed 2 plays or he missed a couple of plays out the whole game. And then everybody else is like, he only missed 1 play. There was 63 total plays in that game last week. He only played 62. And so he plays the full game. Hearing To'o, he plays about a high 80% in each game. And so that's dependent if we go to those dime looks. In his second week, he only played 73% of the snaps, and that's at 51. And there was 70 total defensive snap. He played 51, and we know that second week they played a lot of big dime where they took Henry off and put another DB out there in Kalen and Murray and Ward. And so I don't know because
it becomes difficult, right?
mm-hmm.
And I think Texans fans, this is where we need to kind of have the conversation. We need to start the conversation and realize that this team is a little bit deeper than we thought. Right? Now we do have like the talent that we have is crazy. It's a decent amount of talent. We're not perfect. Let's get it straight. We don't have Fred Warner, right? We don't have the best linebacker in the league, the best linebackers in the league. We don't have the best defensive tackles. That's probably our weakest position is defensive tackles on the defense.
And our defensive tackles are good. They're just not household names.
Yeah, exactly. They're just not Quinnen Williams or who's that
Jonathan
dude?
Allen.
Yeah, Jonathan Allen. They're not the best of the best. They're not the elite. They're not Aaron Donald. But we don't need Aaron Donald at every position. Right? People have won without having Aaron Donald at every single position. The Rams have done it, right? The Chiefs have done it. They don't have the best players at every position, but they have good players in spots that are needed. And I think we need to start having that conversation of, yeah, our defense is legit. And if we get the offense starts piecing it together, which CJ made a great point of, usually it's by about week 5 that teams start to put it together and their identity as a team is finally realized. Let's be real. That's exactly how it went last year. We didn't know our team's identity until week 5. Week 3, we put out a good game. Week 4, we put out a good game. Week 5 was us starting to finally understand what we were good at, and you started seeing it the rest of the season. That's what we need to keep in context, that our team is still growing, that we're still getting good, that we're still understanding each other. But then there was a second conversation. Did you note that one down at all, XO? There was a second conversation that we were going to have.
No, I did not. I said what happens when Christian Harris come back, and can we have 3 linebackers on the field?
Yeah. So yeah, that's one big question. I think the other question is effort. I think effort is a thing that we really need to discuss, particularly on offense. I didn't put any of these plays on there, but I did post the play in particular. And you know what? Let me see if I can't find it on NFL Pro while we're kind of talking here real quick. But effort is, yeah, and I do agree. If you give our defense a lead, look at what happened with the Colts game. Look at what happened with the Bears game. They had the lead pretty much the whole game, and it was never given up. And most of the time, the teams could not move the ball. But effort, you're right. I think it was effort. There's a particular play that I really want to bring up, and I posted it in the Texans 22 chat. Shout out to Texans 22, VT, Leo, and Josh. Go check them out. Go subscribe to their channel. They put out really, really good content. Also, go check out the H-Town Rundown and really just go check out every other Texans content creator. Phenomenal stuff they're all putting out. Great information. But there's a play in particular last game that I really wanted to bring up. It was one of our first drives of the game, and in which you see CJ Stroud. I think he gets a 1 yard gain. Or it's either that or he's tackled for no gain. But in this particular play, Laramie Tunsil is, for lack of a better term, give me a second, logging in real quick here. For lack of a better term, just stops. He literally stops moving. To which I was like, well, why'd you do that? Because it allowed CJ Stroud had a great pocket. And actually, let me find it here real quick. It was like in the first quarter. Let me go to the pro. Let's watch the film. But effort has been a thing that we have been witnessing as something that has not been good. I think it's this play. Let me make sure before I share my screen real quick. Not have autoplay going.
This was that second or third drive.
Yeah, I got it. I got the play.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, here. I'm going to share my screen real quick, and this is the last thing we'll do before we end the show. But let me go ahead and do this real quick. All right. So on this particular play, you can see we're at the 30. I think this is actually one of the first plays.
There goes that shift into the bear front like the assholes they were.
But watch. Look at this play. He's blocked. What is Laramie doing there?
He thinks the play is over. He thinks the ball is out.
Now, I get it. He thinks the ball is out. But I've always been told by my coaches, play until the whistle.
Play until the damn whistle, man.
I don't understand what's happening here. The whistle ain't been blown. Everybody else is still blocking.
Piss poor effort by 71 as well, Titus.
It is, yes. But
both our tackles on this play.
But like, still,
it hurts. It hurts with Laramie winning the whole the whole play. I won the whole play. This whole round, I got you. And I think that's Grenard, right?
Yeah, that's Grenard.
Hey, Grenard. He got him playing around, doing spin moves. He's spinning on it with all the innuendos you can hear. He got you spinning on it. And then you got LT, not LT. You got Titus Howard, just not like stuffed. Like, look at it. Look, oh my God, let me go. Like and then you got Titus Howard, who's just standing there, and he's going against a D tackle, so he's not going to do any speed moves. He's not going to do. It's going to be straight power, and I'm gonna try to knock your hands down. Ends up making a sack. Both our tackles not blocking till the end, and a Shanahan Kubiak system. Well, they tell you first day, hey, blocked it in the whistle because we got some in any moment. all on the run games, on run plays, any play, any hole, any lane is an open lane if you block to the end of the whistle. And pass pro, pass until the ball is in the air, until till the ref says, "Hey, plays dead."
Oh, I think Exo got dropped here. But I'm gonna kind of echo what he's saying here. You gotta go to the end of the whistle, right? Like this is ridiculous. I cannot believe our starting uh,
Both of
uh,
them, both
pro,
of
uh,
them.
Pro Bowl left tackle, our starting tackles,
Our Pro
literally.
Bowl tackle, and he likes to bitch about not being an All Pro yet, even though he leads all Pro tackles by like 50. And our other tackle that hates the fact, oh, why I can't play tackle? Why everybody talking about me? Well, with your fat ass that's already 50 pounds over with what an actual tackle weighs, you give lackadaisical effort at the end of a play. Like, bro, you fit. Go get the man. Let's go finish. I get that you got tossed to the twist, but it's a twist. So pick up the twisting man because your quarterback is still have the ball in his hand. It's called effort. Pass this like we're
It
so close to being so fucking great, and it's shitty on the O line because on the O line it's purely effort. It's purely, do you want to be the nastiest O lineman? Do you want to be the best O lineman known to man? And we got players that are like, I just like being good. I like having accolades. I like people knowing that I'm one of the greatest pass blockers, not the best tackle. I'm just a great pass blocking lineman. You got
Laramie Tunsil has already given up. Already, he's already given up on the
hell,
play.
Grenard is giving up. He has his hands thrown in the air.
He's
He's trying to bait a ref to throw a fucking flag for holding.
this play is over for Grenard,
You're not
but
doing
the
anything on this play,
whistle
Grenard.
hasn't blown. The
And I'm
play isn't over.
and Titus. You 1-on-1 in open space with a D tackle on the twist. He doesn't have any moves. He's not a speed rushing DN. He's not going to dip and rip you. He's not going to run the hoop. He's not going to high low you. He's not going to fight hands. He's not going to
Oh my
hezzy
god.
spin. Like, bro, both of my tackles, if you just 2 extra seconds, give my quarterback 2 extra seconds. Press play. I want to see what else is open on this play. Anything open on this play? No.
Cade Stover.
Oh, and this is another thing. Bear was saying this in the spaces. We was talking about this on the A-Shine Rundown. He said this early in this shit. Hey, CJ, take what the defense gets you. I'm not going to lie to you. I could be mad at my tackles for not blocking the extra 2 seconds, 3 seconds. You got 2 open receivers. You got a check down run in front of you on the hash, like looking dead ass in front of you in the running back. Then you got a Stover leaking out in open space. But yeah, I know your ass want to throw it to Tank Dell. I know your ass want to throw it to Nico Collins on that dig route. I know you do. But you take what the defense give you. Take the easy money. Take the
We
little
also have
appetizer.
this option over here too, but there's Stephon Gilmore over there. But this is the real play. One of these two, and this is first down.
This is first down.
This is first down. And if y'all don't believe that it's first down, let me zoom out a little bit more so you can see that it's first down. It's first down.
Take the 5
Take
yards to Cam
the
Akers.
5 yards
Take
to
the 5
here.
yards to Stover. Any Stover, like one of them.
Stover's getting, he might even get you another
He's
first
going to
down.
run over that DB because he's just built like that. He's a tweaker. He used to play linebacker to play tight end. I'm going to run over a DB. I'm going to get that first down. Cam Akers, I'm gonna make one of these linebackers miss because they're gonna go full speed at me. I'm gonna do a little hazy move, and it's gonna be 2nd and 2, 2nd and 1. But no, I see you, CJ. I know you want the big play. You got that dog in you. I love it. I love it, CJ. But take what the defense gives you.
And I'm gonna go back to what we talked about a little bit last year. Remember, I brought this up last year. I said one of the things that I say that CJ needs to work on is the take what the defense gives you, because he's hardwired to want the big play. I mean, he loves the big play. He loves hitting that 20-yard bomb or that 20-yard shot down the field for a first down on 3rd and 22. He's able to do that, and we've watched him do it several times. Sometimes, and especially in this league, you have to take what the defense gives you so that you can hit the big stuff.
So we can live to see another day. Let us
And
live to
this is
see another day, man.
exactly. And this type of play right here, this is why we aren't blowing teams out the way people are expecting us to, the way Madden has us being able to blow teams out. This is why it's not happening. Because right now you have little idiosyncrasies that are stopping us from making the right play at the right time. That's what's happened. But I know we've been going for a while, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's been going that we've been talking a lot here. We've had really good conversation. Um, but before we end tonight, I want to make sure that everybody has gotten their questions out there. If you got a question, go feel free to email us at, I believe it's at the moderate Texan at gmail.com. Either that or the moderate Texan podcast at gmail.com. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it is down below. If you're watching on YouTube, all that information is there. You can message me or EXO. All our information is also down below in the information down there for the video, or you can just message us on Twitter, and we will feel free to get back to you as soon as we possibly can. Feel free to throw out your prayer requests or anything that you've got for us, or just to say hi and talk ball with us. We always want to talk ball. If you want to watch film with us, I'm always watching film, so feel free to jump in and do that as well. If you want me to watch another team, I might start doing that here pretty soon. I've had some Bears fans ask me to do that. I've had some Vikings fans, some Cowboys fans, other fans of other teams who want me to watch their team's film, and I'm willing to start doing that if I can find the time, or if you're willing to do it with me. I'll take care of that. As before I said, all the links for everything is down below. But before we go, I don't see any other questions. EXO, do you got anything for the people?
Nothing much. I might have brought up that full sequence of them Laramie Tunsil, Titus Howard, Juice Scruggs, false start, head bob shit. Uh, I pointed it out in the H-Town rundown. It was a sequence of events from like the start of that drive that kind of led to that cascading mountain of bullshit that was happening, and it just that specific drive. I hate saying it. I will have to agree with Laramie Tunsil and Titus. Not that it's never the reps coming after you. It's the fact that they spoke about the communication amongst the inner O lineman shit. That's what needs to happen. It was a point in time where Juice got figured out on how his snap was like the routine was going. Like, did the head ball look at CJ pop up, snap the ball? The entire Vikings defense figured that out, like the timing of it. And so that whole drive, he was trying to change up the timing of it. But I really do feel like he didn't talk with his O line that he was going to start changing up the shit. He probably say, "Hey, I'm gonna try something new," but didn't say what exactly the new timing would be, and that's what led to the false starts by both Laramie Tulsa and Titus, and then the I forgot the official flag for the messing up the snap. I forgot what they did for the
They called it false start, rapid head movement. That
rapid
was what.
head movement, and so all that happened in the same drive. But it happened due to the fact that the defense figured out what Juice was doing. And then we saw on the H-Town rundown that on one of the plays, it was supposed to be an approachment on the defense, but they ended up calling a false start on us because the D line was already past the O line interiorly for the on that play. It's kind of weird. I might pull it up, might do it again later, but it's like in the second quarter around 9:48, that whole sequence is like literally play after play after play. It's like the bullshit bad snap exchange, Titus false start, then they called the head bob, then the Laramie Tulsa false start, then the Laramie Tulsa illegal formation. It was play after play after play after play, and it stemmed from them figuring out Juice. So they do need to figure that out before this game. for us to just be good. Like the thing that's holding our offense back will start with the O line. That's why I call my Twitter channel, it's XO Intro. It all starts up front. You see it in my Avi. It's literally starts there. If you want to point blame, you have to look there, then start looking at the other shit. And what held us back this game was our O line. Point blank. Period. We can point blame at Dalton doing dumb shit, our tight ends doing dumb shit, receivers not running the right shit, quarterback not taking the easy money. But it starts with the O line when we lead the league in pre-snap penalty. Like we have one player leading the league by a wide margin alone, not including our center, not including our right tackle. Our left tackle leads the league in pre-snap penalties, and that's crazy. So it starts with the O line. Once we get that squared away, I feel like our offense opens up so much.
Agreed. My last little bit before we log off is relax, everybody. We talked about it a little bit at the beginning, but relax. We are watching a team that's still learning how to gel together. I saw a post on X or on Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I saw a post in which somebody said that the Bills got better without having Stephon Diggs, and the Texans got worse with Stephon Diggs. And I want you to understand how incredibly not incensed, how far back into my head my eyes rolled when I read that. Yes, there's been a lot of inconsistency with our offensive play, but if you think that's because of Stephon Diggs, I don't know what to tell you. But just relax. We are half a step off of making the right play. Half a step. We were half a step off of changing the tide just a little bit. We were one interception away from changing the momentum of that game, and we almost got it. We had the play down the field, and if Dalton Schultz doesn't slow up, we get it. We were right there when Cade Stover gets blown up. If Dalton Schultz stops and just goes 5 yards and catches the ball, it's a first down, and we keep driving the ball down the field, and it's 7-7 or 7-3 instead of starting out 14-0, going into the half 21-0. These plays shot ourselves in the foot. We took the game away from ourselves, and we've been doing that weekly. Cannot do that this week. I understand people are like, oh, the Jags got blown out by the Bills. This is an any given Sunday league. The Jags could come out on fire tomorrow, and I'll be at the game. Hope to see some of y'all there. The Jags could come out on fire, and we gotta be better. We gotta be better than we have been. But without further ado, you guys know what time it is. We got to do a lot today. We got to look and have good conversations. We got to look through the darkness, see that little bit of light, bring everybody right back to the middle. It has been a great time being with you. You know who I am. I'm Jay, aka the Moderate Texan. This is my co-host, XO. We love sharing film with you. We love the Texans. We love watching the film and breaking it down and bringing people back to the middle. We hope to see you next week. Love you, H-Town. Talk to you later. See you in the middle.
Texans!